Now, you know how magicians aren't allowed to discuss their tricks, like you have to believe in the magic.
Sure.
I had that suspension of disbelief when I used to watch wrestling. We tried to convince ourselves it was absolutely real, and you never knew who was going to win. How real is it? Because I mean, what you do is no doubt very tough. It's hard. You're thrown off top turnbuckles, all that sort of thing. But is the competition real for real, or is it sort of staged a bit?
Well, of course it's staged a bit. It's entertainment, but the real part of it is like you can't fake gravity. You know, gravity gets us all. And
as you get older, you notice that, don't you?
Well, even when you're younger, you know, one of the negative things.
Yeah, but you do notice it more when you're older.
No, you absolutely do. You absolutely do. But for me, you know, starting at 35 was a negative because I was 35 years old. The positive, though, was I was 35 years old. I was way smarter. I'm not saying I was super smart, but I was smarter than I would have been at 25 doing some of the crazy stuff that you do out there.
Do you actually get together and sort of go through and practice beforehand what's likely to happen, or is it just made up in the bout?
You know, not so much practice, but if you've worked with a guy over and over again, same type of thing, except for it's in front of 20,000 people. You know, you pretty much have a plan, you know, going out there, who's the bad guy, who's the good guy. You know what the finish is. Like, you know what the ending is, but getting there, I always call it the best, you know, preparation and improvisation. Like, I was knocked out. You know, I knocked out 20 guys, and I was knocked out at least 20 times in my career.
Now, when you say knocked out, you actually suffered a concussion?
Let's put it like this. Waking up after a match with Randy Macho Man Savage, my second big pay-per-view match with him, waking up as I'm walking with my, at that time, wife, Kimberly, and look at her and said, "Did I just wrestle?" And she went, "What?" And we're walking. I stop. I'm looking. I'm in my gear. That's what I call it, you know. I'm in my outfit. I'm like, "Did I just wrestle?" She said, "Stop it. You're scaring me." I said, "What the, blah, 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 blah. What, where are we? Is this Nitro?" She's like, "No, this is the Bash at the Beach. You just wrestled Randy Savage."
Well, this is very serious, though. Are you worried that, you know, you might have sustained anything long-term concussion? Because I know there's been all these studies in America of, you know, NFL footballers. I read on the weekend like 40% of them appear to have some sort of brain damage. Here in Australia, you know, sports like rugby league and Australian US football, you know, which don't have any padding or anything, they're getting very worried about head damage and brain damage. Does that worry you?
Well, I think, you know, I definitely have a little damage there, but nothing that, you know, God hasn't blessed me with working through. And I believe if you don't use it, you lose it. And I'm constantly testing my brain. But I've watched, yo, we don't get this over here, your AFL and your rugby. We don't get it. I've been watching it. These guys are beating the heck out of each other. I mean, it ain't checkers out there.
No, that's true.
And when it comes to wrestling, you got to remember, we're wrestling 270 days a year.
So it is a full-time job.
Full-time job. Plus, you're going to drive 100, 200, or 300 miles to the next town, or hop in a plane and go across the country and drive 100, 200, or 300 miles to the next town. It's brutal, but it's so much fun. You're living a dream at a whole different level.